Welcome back to this next piece of the tutorial. In this one we are going to discuss the next era of the world, namely the Renaissance. There are a couple of very important things that happen in this era, and most importantly I think is the founding of the World Congress. This is something that has an enormous impact on the game, and it can be done as soon as you uh, do two things, namely you have to invent the printing press and you have to meet all remaining civilizations in the game. For that purpose we have built a boat, and on some maps that's a very integral part of the plan, because it is only in the Renaissance that you can build the Nau, or the Caravel as the normal unit is called, and this is the first unit that can cross ocean tiles. As you can see, all the dark ones are ocean tiles and you cannot normally cross them. So, since we are on one continent and the rest of the world is on another, we need a boat to discover them.
Deutschland ist.
Which is exactly what we intend to do right now. The other important thing, of course, is that this is really the part where you are going to be choosing a tech path. Before this era, you pretty much need everything, except perhaps steel. You need all these other things to be able to progress. But starting in the Renaissance, you can really take a specialized path. For example, you can focus on the naval path to get frigates very early on, but the general paths to take are the ones to scientific theory, which significantly boosts your science output, or sometimes you can take a path from chivalry, banking, economics to industrialization. And this one allows you to get an ideology, which is industrial era. We will talk about that in another video. But these three are very distinct paths and they are all viable for other types of games. Which ones, that's a little bit harder to explain. And then there is the third path, the one of the units. This is the bottom path. As you can see, longswordmen, musketmen, cannons, and all kinds of military improvements can be found along this line, culminating in the powerful artillery. And this is a very separate line, but going this you sacrifice many of the good things of the top lines. We are going for printing press first because we want to be the founders of the World Congress. So that is at the moment our plan. Let me get this up running. Our prophet have been captured by evil barbarians, but that's not a big deal, I think. And our military units can rest for a good while, because we won't be needing them anytime soon. As soon as you or someone else has printing press and has met all the other AIs, the Congress will start. There is yet another wonder. And when the Congress starts, all civs automatically meet all remaining civilizations. As you noticed, I have always pledged to protect the city-states. The reason for that is that I have consulate's talent here, which basically says if you do a pledge of protection, which gives you 10 extra resting points, and consulates at 20 resting points. So your resting point, which is the point to which the bar evolves naturally, is 30, and 30 is needed for friendships. So just taking a pledge, and that talent means you are green with everyone here getting their base bonus. As you can see, this gives me 6 culture per turn just from Yerevan, and a unit every 20 turns from Belgrade, and Panama is giving me 2 food for the capital. So those are all nice bonuses to get, and basically you can get them for 2 social policies. So, and that's going to help us out a bit. Now, this road, a little detour, but that's okay. Let's try to find these other civs as fast as we can. There's actually a ruin there, so I suggest we take this knight over there later, just to check out what that's doing over there. And I can show you a little trick now. If I wanted to, say, for example, grab some extra territory, you can just ride your general to right outside your territory and create a citadel. This will just add more territory. If it's unclaimed, then you don't need to build a city there just to get access to the luxuries and resources, which is very convenient. And that's a very good way to use your spare generals. Note that if you do this on enemy terrain, you are going to get into a lot of trouble with your neighbors, because that's a massive diplomatic penalty, stealing land from someone else. They consider that worse than being in a war with them. So it's not something that you should do lightly. Don't notice that, it's not important. Perhaps I should have skipped ahead a little further, but we will meet our friends soon. They should be around here somewhere. And hopefully we get to meet them quickly. I'll get printing press next turn. If we haven't met anyone by then, we will take a short break and we will be back as soon as I find the other civs. And now it is time for us to choose a path of progress, and I think the best path for us at this point is going directly to industrialization. That way I can show you off how big of a benefit the ideologies are in one of the very next videos. And yeah, we will be back as soon as we have found all the other AI. Alright, this is the continuation. We have finally located our last Civ, so it's time for the World Congress. Let's check that out quickly. What the World Congress is an extension of the old United Nations. It's a system where through you can vote in laws. There we go.
Nyukamikani Pachakutik. Inka
It's
Kunapaga.
Pachacuti. And that means that next turn we will have the World Congress convening. And basically each one will be able to make a proposal as long as they are among the first two that have the most votes. So having a lot of votes is very important, and you get votes from being the host, being allied with city-states, or having certain wonders or advantages. So, let's take a look. 2 if you are the host, 1 for each other. 0 for city-state allies. This is at the start in the Renaissance. When we hit industrial, the host will get 3, others get 2, and each city-state will give you 1. Which is a huge change, because, well, city-states are with a lot. So if you can ally most of them, you will get a lot of votes and be able to pass through proposals. So let's see what we can propose. We can do embargoes. These can be used to economically cripple an enemy, though that's not very easy. Takes quite a while before they take real effect. We can ban a luxury to further pressurize an enemy. A standing army tax increases maintenance cost. And there are various others, like a World Fair project. This is a project that all civs work on together, and the one who puts in the most points of production wins it and gets all 3 beakers. If you get the silver medal, you will still get some of the benefits, etc, etc. But since we have been spreading our religion a lot, we will make Aeschydaism the world religion. And as you can see, the game indicates that others will be really angry because of that. And this is a good way to manipulate the world stage. If you want, for example, many friends, you should go for something that they like. The World Fair, for example, is always positive. If you want to anger a specific person, then you can use an embargo, and you can even vote for or against another person's proposal just to get diplomatic modifiers and benefits. For now we will go for Aeschydaism as the world religion, and if that passes, everyone with the world religion will get 2 additional delegates in the Congress, as well as some other benefits. As you can see, 25% faster spread and plus 50% tourism. That's basically all that the Congress does. The further you go, the more delegates will be available because of the city-states. And if you wish to win a diplomatic victory, then you need to reach the information era or have half the civs in the game reach atomic era. This will trigger a world leader vote in the World Congress, where you need a certain amount of votes, and if you get them, then you will become the world's leader. That's pretty much
Captain
how
Nemo pointed.
simple it is. Well, in theory, The amount of votes is so high that you will need to ally almost all city-states. It is also possible to use a spy, move him to the capital of another person, and if you are friendly enough with that person, you might be able to buy a few votes from him. But generally that's a very expensive thing to do. So the World Congress, you mostly use it for getting diplomatic friends, or that's how I usually use it, or to get benefits for yourself. So which one of those you will be doing depends on the kind of game you are. In the peaceful games you often want to forego benefit for yourself just to get a big diplomacy bonus, whereas in the war games you would use the World Congress to defend yourself from your opponents, because, well, there are various mechanics at work that can help you. Banning a luxury that they have a lot of will reduce their trade, it will reduce their happiness and their income. For example, if Askia was my enemy, I could just try banning citrus, and that would severely diminish his power, because he has several of it. It'll be a 4 happiness hit for sure, and then it will hit harder because he is probably trading his extra copies away. Is there anything else to say about the World Congress? It's easy to misvote. Don't vote for something that others are gonna hate, because once you get negative points in the diplomacy part here, it's often very difficult to get them away. It's far easier to get green ones to go away and anger people than it is to build a positive relationship. And that's because negative things always cascade. For example, if my friend here decides that he wants to denounce me, then others are gonna say, hey, they denounced you, so you must be a bad person, and they might join in on the denouncing, and then they are gonna say, hey, my friends denounced you, etc, etc. So it chains down really quickly, it doesn't chain up quite as easily. That will be all for this video, I think. See you next time.